I made my first coloring page. In this video, you can see that there is a time lapse going on of me drawing this on my iPad, and I will tell you more about it as the video goes along. I've had this idea to make coloring book pages and eventually possibly a full coloring book. That would be awesome. I've had this idea for a year or more, and I finally did my first one, and it's this coloring page here. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to overthink it, think that I have to make it perfect. I'm just going to make what I'm going to make. And this one is themed based on New Mexico summertime. So there's a Roadrunner here. You can see there are Roadrunners all over my neighborhood, and I love them. They're so cute. They're so fun. Sometimes they have lizards in their mouths. Sometimes they're eating like snails and stuff. But they like to run around, and they are truly runners. It's just so fun to watch them. Sometimes they're in my backyard, and that's really fun. I'm also going to add like a cactus plant. I don't know if you can see that yet because it's just in my first initial sketch. And then eventually I'll draw more on this time lapse. So this work took me about 2.5 hours to make on my iPad. So I probably sketched it for maybe 10-15 minutes. I had my idea, and then I took a picture, put it on my iPad. And then I started using the Sketches app. I know a lot of professional illustrators will recommend Procreate, and I do have Procreate. It costs about $10 to $12, I think $12 or something. It's a one-time payment, and then you have this app. I've tried using it, but I'm just not fully used to it yet. This app that I'm using is called Sketchbook. I think it's Autodesk Sketchbook. It's like a orange icon pencil. You can download it for free, and I really like that it has layers and that it has this time-lapse feature because it condensed 2.5 hours of drawing into 19 minutes, and then I further condensed it in iMovie to be 9 minutes something. So I get cool time lapses like this. I also used it in my school when I was teaching during COVID learning or online learning. We downloaded a lot of apps for the kids to draw on their iPads. This one I would use with a lot of the older students, like 5th and 6th grade, because it had the layers and the time-lapse feature. I could have them draw things and then show me their progress. I got some fun videos from the kids that way. Other apps we used were something called Sketches School and Sketches Pro. Sketches Pro was really nice and it had layers, but it's not free anymore. It was free at the time, so the kids could download it, and it was enjoyable, but now it's not free. There is Sketches School, which is a lesser version, and all the younger kids would use that, like kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade. Very easy, but not as many tools that could be used. But my favorite so far is this Sketchbook app. The biggest reason I probably like the Sketchbook app the most is because I had to use it so much when I was creating all the lessons I would use for it. I dug into the tools, into all the abilities it had, and I was like, wow, this is really fun, and the kids really liked it too. But eventually I might delve more into Procreate and test that out too. I'm also currently doing the voiceover on my iPad, which might sound a little tinny or not as great as like using a microphone, but it is the easiest thing for me to do right now. So I'm voiceovering on my iPad. Anyway, this is hopefully the first of many coloring pages I will make. I think I'll just make them seasonally for now, because making them too often, it's not like it's a lot of work. It just takes me away from the other work that I do. So I do mostly pottery. I was a art teacher for many years, and then I left to become kind of like a full-time artist, and I make pottery and pots and animal mugs, and it's been really great, and I love it, but it's very time consuming. Making multiples or lots of pottery takes a lot of energy, a lot of it's just a lot of work, a lot of time. So making coloring pages is not my number one priority, but I do really enjoy it. I like many art forms. It was really hard before I became a teacher, I was like, I just like too many different styles of art. I don't know how to whittle it down. And then when I was a teacher, I got to teach every form of art and I loved it. But there's 3 art forms that I will stick with that I love the most. Number 1 is pottery. I wouldn't say that's my number one, but one of the 3 is pottery. I have not gotten sick of that. After a full year of doing pottery, I am still going for it. The second thing I love is printmaking. I will always come back to block printmaking and printmaking stamps. That is always fun for me. And then the third thing is illustration and digital illustration. I don't do a lot of illustration all of the time, but I will always come back to it as something that I enjoy when I have an idea or a story idea. Another thing I like about all 3 of those art mediums is that I can do my style in all 3 of them. So here I'm making kind of a cat illustration, and I make cat pottery, and the eyes and the mouth actually look like my cat mugs. And then when I do printmaking and stamps, I will also do cute characters and animals that look very similar. So if you saw all 3 of the kind of things I make, you would say, hey, that's art by Alicia. Obviously, Alicia made that. They all look very similar. So it's not like I'm doing a completely different style with all the mediums I enjoy. Oh my gosh, this mountain lines. I spent so much time drawing mountain lines over and over, and then I just went with the first line that I made for the mountains. There were a lot of things I could have cut out for timing on this drawing. I was just kind of experimenting more than I should have been. I could have sketched it out better first, but I was like, you know what, I'll just draw and experiment while I'm on the iPad and see what happens. So as you can see, I cannot decide what kind of sky to make, what kind of lines for the sun. Eventually I do come up with something, but I'm just like, let's try this, let's try that. That's kind of what's great about using the iPad for drawing, is it's very clean. You make no mess at all. It's easy to undo, easy to erase. It's pretty great. I absolutely love this. I remember back in the day when I was doing animation in college. So I went to college for animation and got a BFA in art animation. We would use Wacom tablets, or I had a Wacom tablet attached to my laptop, and you would have to draw on a tablet while looking at the screen, which was not connected. And during my time there, they also got these fancy Cintiq computers, which you could draw right on, which is a lot like the iPad where you draw right on it, but they didn't have iPads like this in 2009, 10, 11. But we got these fancy Cintiq computers, so I'd sit in the animation lab, drawing on this big fancy computer instead of using my Wacom tablet on my laptop, because it was kind of, it was a little bit tricky to hand-eye coordinate, I got used to it, but recently I do still have a Wacom tablet, and I hooked it up to my laptop, and it's hard now. I'm so used to drawing on an iPad, it's really hard to actually go back to the older technology. It's crazy, but I'm really happy that, iPads exist and I can just draw right on it now. And I'm almost done through this time lapse, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm hosting a coloring contest with this coloring page. I have an email newsletter sign up where you can download the coloring page below, and that goes until July 20th. And then I will pick a winner, and they will win one of my cat mugs. So that is why also I made this coloring page. Check it out.